However, if you look at me, I still have a 10% efficiency increase, so I am a little bit faster than the rest. Also, I do not generate bugs, but you may see we already have 15 bugs. This is a lot of bugs. However, we are also quite fast. We are already done with the engine right now, and we are working towards the features. I am working on the game at normal speed right now, but I usually just go high speed and just, you know, send it. But right now, I'm in learning mode, you know. I'm teaching mode, I should say. Because I already learned all of this. Okay, the first game is soon to be done. There we go. And as you can see, you have the development cost and the current estimated rating. This is a fork of 20% that they give you. However, always aim 10% and higher. So, what that means is if you have a 50-70, you have at least a 60% game. That's just how it is. That's just the way things go for this. You have a 60% minimum. If you have a 60-80, you have a 70% game. If you have an 80, a 70-90, you have an 80% game. If you have an 80-100, you have a 90% game. If you have a 90-100, that does not mean that you're obligated to have a 100 though. You can get a 98 or 99. So be careful about that. Still, 50-70 here means I get a 60. So that's good. 69. There you go. That is what you would say nice. Okay. So that is one contract done. We can continue doing them. As you can see, these are not doable right now because we don't have the right genre. But this one we can do. To not have to do the whole thing again, the whole, you know, shebang with all of this to do and everything, you have this little thing here at the bottom for the game concepts, and you just copy the game concept, and there you go, everything is right in place again. And so you can do the game again. And once again, as everything is now 1 star, everything is gonna move faster. At some point I'm gonna go get some water, by the way. I put some in the freezer to try and get it to temperature pretty quickly, but it's only been an hour, so I'm gonna refrain from going in there yet. Do we have researchers? We do have 1 researcher. It's only a 30 points, which isn't amazing, but it is going to be enough to get us some of these done. At the same time as we're moving forward with the game again. Another researcher. This one costs a bit more money, but it is more than doable, so let's take it. I'm gonna add these to my normal group for research, which is group 8. Group management, by the way, let's talk about this now. Fuck it. So group management is just so that you can just select everyone from a single room, put them all inside of here, and just select that group to then move it if ever you need to or anything like that. So this is just for convenience. You'll see why. There is a good amount of stuff that you may do with this. You may also rename them, so you may have group 1 called the devs, something like that, you know. 8 is research. There you go. So you may just rename them like that. But why is research group 8? Because there are more important ones that I'm going to put in the middle of that, but that I haven't unlocked yet. So this is the first and main type of contracts that you will do in this game. This is a 70%. Also, I did forget to say, when something also gets stars, you generate less bugs. So that's good. But here we go. So we have done 2 games. We do have another contracted game on, again, the right thing. So we're going to do it again. So as long as we are getting some skill games contracts, we're going to do them. For a simple reason. The better you are at a genre, the more stars you have on that genre, the better you are. So what that means is you're going to just make a better game for yourself as well whenever you unlock it. I did forget to say as well, one more thing. Upgrading a star rating for one of your features or even your engine decreases the price by 10%. Up to 50%. So that is, again, quite nice. And so what that means is I hope that everything is going to be level 3 and then we're going to be able to make our own game. I really hope that I am saying all of this pretty clearly and that you are able to understand, guys, by the way. I mean, I think this isn't too difficult, right? I would hope so. We have someone that goes to the med cab because they're sick. And so once they heal, they're back at 100% and they can work. 20 bugs. As you can see, we were at over 25. Are we going to be at over 25 again? Yes, we are. Okay. That's still fine. It's not that much of a deal. That much of a big deal. Okay, there we go. So that's 3. And now, let us create our own game. Skill game, Candy. I'm not imaginative, so I'm just going to call it Candy Crush World. We can just do copy design settings only so that I don't change all of these things here. The candy, the target group, and everything. We're gonna go over the Apple one because it's the one with the most amount of market share. As you can see here, there's only 200,000 units sold here and 3 million here. So you just go with the bigger one. Here we are going to put all of the languages because this is something that we want this time because we want to spend a lot of money. This is our own game. Putting the languages means that you have better reach, basically, and that you can get more people looking at your game. Oh. So, more researchers. I'm okay with that one. Very, very cheap. Marketing and support is not for now, and the rest is already full here. You may see also that we have 5 stars here. This is our studio rating. Whenever that goes up, we're going to be able to get more money at the bank. Because yes, there is a bank with a monthly interest and everything. And also, we're going to be able to get better people that are going to try and get into the job market to get into our company. So, that's good. Ooh, error free. And luck. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to change one of my developers. Not you, I think. Is it you? You're fine. It's probably going to be one of these two anyway, so... The most costly one, or the other one? Nah, this one. Costs too much money. There we go. So instead, we now have a new one that doesn't make bugs, and also is lucky. So if ever we have a chance of getting some good events. A better chance to get some good events. Because you can always get some events, but here we have a better chance. And also, we generate less bugs, which is good. So now, how do you get rid of bugs? Well, you just wait. You just wait before you release the game. And you're gonna see the bugs go down slowly. And also, you're gonna be polishing the game, which may generate a couple extra points. As you see, we're on 9. It's gonna go down little by little. Eight. Yup. It's gonna take another week. It's fine. It's not that bad. Alright, what do we have here? Nothing interesting. 5 bugs left. I mean, come on. 4, 2. Spin off. Spin off. Wait, okay. And there we go, we are now at 0 bugs, and as you can see, we have generated a good amount of gameplay and tech points. 114, 118, those are new records, as well as sound apparently, not graphics, weirdly enough. And as you can see, this is 70%, we're gonna publish it. We can go now with any publisher, as you can see. However, they do have a fan base that is better for some things. They also pay you differently, all of them. As you can see, the payment is only $10 here for publishing a game on one of these companies. However, here it's 8, which is even lower. So, what you would want is something with a good enough market strength, but also that gives you the best payment possible, which right now would be one of these two. This one would be nice, but it is not on the right fan base. It's on puzzle game, so let's not touch that one right now, and let's just go with Komani. There you go. And so as you can see, everything levels up. We're good. And this is a 78% game for ourselves. So we have more contracts here that we may do, but I'm not going to actually do them. As you can see, we have another type of contracts to do. Short assignments. And here, my god, what is this, you know? Yeah, there's a bunch of money to be had. All you have to do is just spend some time to try and get them. You can start automation to try and do them all in a row, which is good whenever you have some big ones like this. At the same time, you may see that our game has started selling. We have 2,500 on the first week, which is nice. 2,500 on the first week is pretty nice, and that's a turnover of $25,000 on 1 week. That's good, and as you can see, it kept us in the green. However, there's one little thing that's happening right now, and it's a summer slump. Whenever you get into summer, which is June and July, not August, June and July, you lose 30% of your sales. But still, that doesn't matter here, because we are still getting a good amount of sales, with 7,000 total, 4,700 on that week, and that is the second best selling game right now. If you want to check, you just go here, and there you go. You can see this, I am on the second best selling game. You can also see it here at the top left. This is a computer and console games list, and you may see that we're second. That's cool and all, not really something that matters much. But there you go, 5,600 on the third week. The third week is the biggest week we have, okay? After that, sales are going to go back down, but they're still not bad. 5,200 on that week. And once again, do not expect that if you're playing at any difficulty higher than normal. The sales are not supposed to be that high, okay? Whenever you get to July, in the end of June, I should say, you have a convention that you may go to. This happens every year, and you have a choice between 3 different booths. You have the small booth, which doesn't give you a lot of people, the medium booth, which gives you a medium amount of people, and you can actually store there 2 games and a console, or the large booth, which costs more money, of course, gives you the most exposure for 3 games and 2 consoles. Keep in mind, those are your own games only that you may give to the booth. Only your own games. So right now we only have 1. What does that do? Well, it gives you a bunch of fans, and it also generates some hype for the game. As you may see here, we are at 93, which means that it's going to be at 100, which is full. You cannot go over 100 without a specific thing. There is a way to go over 100, but not right now. I'm going to stop doing the things right here. What we're going to do instead is look for a topic. I'm going to take art. I'm going to look if we have, well, we have another. Okay, you know what? As we're doing this on the side, we're going to just be doing this as well. Just not waste any time. Getting everything to 5. So after about 5 to 6 weeks, your games are going to reach their cruising amount of sales. So that is about their plateau before they're also, after a few weeks, are going to dip. That plateau here is about 4,000 for us, which is very nice. We have also sold a total of 2,100 extra Apple Ones, which I don't think that, you know, I don't think that Apple in 1976 had the production capabilities to actually produce 2,000 Apple Ones. It's not meant to be a simulation that is 100% accurate, okay? Just telling you this right now. The sales number are not correct for the beginning. But at the same time, if they were correct, you wouldn't be able to get anywhere with the game. So it makes sense for them to disguise the truth. This is an 80% game, and I didn't force. So damn. Let's check the other game that is available. That doesn't matter then. This guy is not going to do. Okay, we're going to go into a new game. We're going to make a puzzle game. Puzzle art. We're going to call it Restoration. These games are senior. I know about that. Going to need the Apple One. And now, let's check the cheat sheet. 7274 4268 808 50 10 10 30, as I talked about before. Get all of the things in because this is for yourself, so these games are always going to be big. Alright, and now the speed has reached max power. We are now at 100% on the speed. I can add a new platform, so I'm gonna do that. Because I completely forgot that we just made our 5th game. There we go, the game is complete, so now we are waiting on it to get polished. However, this is our first game on puzzle, which means that it's not gonna generate as many points as you would hope. That's how it goes, though. And again, as we are in normal, the amount of money that we are getting is absolutely insane. I should not be that high. What that means for us is, I'm gonna upgrade the size of this room, because we truly do not care. We can do whatever we want right now. We have so much money getting generated that we cannot physically care about this. So let's not care, add more people, because we can. So, this needs still a few extra things, because we need a radiator right about here. That should be good, yep. And we're gonna need another carpet. Carpet 7 is the best one, honestly. It's the best looking one. Too cold? No, you're not. Oh, you are. You are actually just complaining that it's too cold. There you go, then. Yeah, okay. They were complaining it's too cold, apparently. Weird. Still, there we go. We are now having a chance for a much bigger room. What that means for us is that we want a graphic designer and then a bunch of programmers. We want a graphic designer because we don't have one right now. And we only want one in this room. Only one. Now, as we talked about before, this is 1,300,000. So we are halfway. I'm gonna add one thing. When you go into Corridor for buying items right here, when you go into Corridor, you have a Sputnik 3000 cleaner. This makes it so that you can clean stains that you have on the ground. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna add this guy into snapping, by the way, because it's just cleaner to put him in the corner like that. And whenever you see him moving, it means that there's a stain somewhere. These stains are actually also quite bad for us because they generate, you know, bad mood. They take your mood down, which isn't fun. I forgot to add a bin under here. I'm gonna do that. So we're gonna go with these guys. They're 4 stars and they're $11 each game. So yep. 79%, not bad. I did forget to give them a trash can here. I just saw someone move in the other room. And as you can see, we have now become a garage company, which means that we are half a star. And as you can see here, 1,100,000 we can get through the loan. However, I'm not going to get it to get that building. We're not going to do that. We're just going to keep playing the game. We have a contract. We do not care about this now, as we are now full on that type of games. So we don't want to give more games away. Why would we do that? Nothing good for us here. Nothing on the job market. First week for restoration is 3,100. Second is 7,000. That's huge. Huge second week. 41 points is very nice. I'm gonna add that right now. Check the job market again. No. Too costly. 7,000. That's huge, man. And we got $1 million. We have $1 million in our bank account already. This is huge, but of course I expected this. This game is very, very forgiving and normal. There's nothing you can do wrong that would cause you to lose this, honestly. We do have a graphic designer. Look at this. Bang. So now that we have a graphic designer, I honestly want to make a new game. However, I need to get a topic. Let's get something new. Well, I know food works, so let's go get food. Once we got food, I'm gonna make the new game. What is it gonna be? It's gonna be a new... Boom! A new skill game. Food fight. I mean, guys, we are in 76. Games didn't have original names. They didn't. So I'm basically representing the era. We got plus 12 in graphics, which is quite nice. That's a nice little event. That's by far our best amount of graphics points we have had so far. 64 points. This is another 80% plus. I don't think we're gonna reach 90. It's a bit early for that. We'll see. Okay. So here you have the Mad Games Awards. Mad Games Awards happen every year on the first week of December. And you have multiple categories, as you can see here. All of these give you fans whenever you get them, except Worst Game of the Year, which takes away fans. So there you go. Your goal is to win them every year. Yes. There you go. Let's go with Nintendo. I'm kidding. I'm not going with Nintendo. Nah, I should actually. Let's go with Nintendo. It's fine. This is an 86%. As you can see with the stats, 87 on gameplay, 98% on graphics and controls, and 75% on sound. That's very nice. That's very nice to have. The control, yeah, all of this I don't care except this one. Let me do this. There we go. Do that. And now that we have already done the games fully before, we don't need to put... We are full on all of these things in terms of stars. You don't need everything to get a 20% on the rating, so you just put these two, and that's fine. Like, they're going to be happy enough with the game. I'm sure it's still going to be even a 60% plus. At least a 50 plus. I'm sure it's at least a 50 plus. I know this game. It's gonna be a 50 plus. I know this game. There you go, 70. 70% on a game that has no features. It's like when you say PS3 has no games. Yeah, but here it's real. There's no game. There's a controller. So now we can also look for sequels if we want or anything like that, but we don't want to. Not right now. I think actually making an adventure Inca game would actually be quite fun. Empire Fall. So adventure games are adults. So this is a situation of do what I say, not what I do, by the way, because this is useless. Do not do this, okay? This is completely useless. 2151 1097 5, and this is 557 or something like that. Yeah, it's 557. And as I stated, 40 30 15 15. The reason that I know these so well is because this is the same for RPG, so stay tuned for that. As you may see, there are some features that are not actually good for the game genre. These are represented with that red dot at the top. You may still want to add them because they take up time to develop still. And even if they're not going to generate you many points, they still generate points through the time that you're spending making the game anyway. So for the early days like this, it's not bad actually to take it. However, as this is a bad game genre for us right now, do not expect good sales. Speaking of good sales, holy shit, 11,500 for Food Fight. Yikes, man. So guess what? Yeah, we have the money to buy the second building if we want. We even have the money to buy this one, almost. We don't, but almost. So the second building is interesting. This is basically an identical building to yours, to the first one here. In terms of size, it's basically identical. It's slightly bigger. The reason I'm saying that it's interesting is because this is where you're gonna be actually starting to play the game. You're gonna have more things to do there. You're gonna have more rooms to unlock. I'm seeing just one thing. Just 1 second. There we go. God, I hope I don't have more ants now. I had a problem with ants when I got into this place, and with how warm it is, I have suspicions that I may get some ants. I hope not. I'm cleaning my place, so I hope not, man. Please. Anyway, so this is when you're going to use Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous has many rooms inside of it. As you may see, training room, workshop, supports, quality assurance, sound studio, production, marketing, graphic studio, console development. All of these rooms are useful in their own way. However, there is one room that is miles above the rest. Training. Is this the one that we're going to get? No. We're going to get quality assurance. This is the first room that you want to get. The reason for this is a room where you're going to be able to fix bugs. I'm going to just be able to fix bugs. You're going to be able to upgrade the quality of your games with gameplay. You're going to be able to research the perfect settings for a game as well. And you're going to have contracts on that room as well. So these four things, these four things are very important, all of them. So you're gonna get quality assurance first. This is a given. Every time you're gonna get into a save, the first room you're buying is quality assurance. You may want to buy the training room very quickly too, if you are, careful there, if you are playing a legendary. However, so now we are in 1977. There are some consoles that are getting released, as you may have seen. Well, you can buy the dev kits for those consoles. There's the Astro Arcade and the Commander Pete.